When you're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting it, but when you walk, I want you to do like this and boom, 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 boom. You keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Gervonta Tank Davis recently trained with boxing legend Mike Tyson in an intense session ahead of his fight with Jake Paul. Tyson shared his trademark ferocity and precision, guiding Davis on explosive punching power, head movement, body rotation, and crushing uppercuts. Witnesses said Tank looked sharper and more aggressive than ever, clearly reflecting Tyson's influence. With this mentorship, Davis appears more focused and dangerous than ever as he readies to face Jake Paul.
When you're moving your head, like you're trying to get your head out of the center line.
No, well, you want to get out the center, but the objective for him to throw the punch before you can counter. Like if he throws the punch here, you count here, you go to here, and you're still outside.
Yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. So you want them to miss, and when they miss, that's your opportunity.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can punch while he's punching, you can throw boom at the same time. As he punches, boom, and you go down.
Absolutely.
It's all about moving after you punch. As soon as you punch, you're gone. Whatever it is, boom, side, whatever it is, you have to go.
I love that foot movement. Is that something that Casamano taught you?
Yeah, twisting.
Twisting is...
The Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis fight is scheduled for November 14th at the Casa Center in Miami, Florida. Originally set to take place in Atlanta, the event was moved after the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission raised concerns over the major weight difference between the two fighters.
My days, Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Is this real? This can't be real. Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm Arena.
Mike Tyson, who has shared the ring with Jake Paul, has issued a warning as Paul gets ready to face Gervonta Davis. Tyson understands the pressure of fighting Paul but also knows the danger of facing someone as fast, explosive, and technically sharp as Davis. While Paul has the advantage in size and youth, Tyson believes Tank's speed, timing, and knockout power make him a real threat despite the weight difference. His warning hints that Paul may be underestimating just how dangerous Davis truly is.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog, there's no doubt about it. He showed that, but Barrios, he's a pretty good fighter. Last time I saw him fight, he was pretty good.
While training with Gervonta Davis, Mike Tyson admitted that Jake Paul's punches carried surprising power, saying his entire body was sore after their session. The comment shocked many who had doubted Paul's strength. Coming from Tyson, a legend known for taking and delivering brutal knockouts, it was no small praise. It proved Paul's power is real, not just media hype, and showed his dedication to serious training. Tyson's words confirmed that Paul is no longer just a YouTuber experimenting with boxing, but a legitimate athlete capable of causing real damage in the ring.
I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round, and then the next day I remember Jacob doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh yeah, a little bow at the end, he bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. You know, but the day after the fight, the day after, I woke up, I told my wife, why did I do that? You know, I don't know, I just don't know what the hell goes on.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it, but my body was really sore. Yeah, my body, my chest, my stomach.
Fans and analysts have long compared Gervonta Davis to Mike Tyson, pointing out their shared knockout power, aggressive mindset, and larger-than-life aura. But those comparisons come with context. Davis fights in a completely different era, weight class, and boxing climate. Tyson's legacy was built during a dominant heavyweight reign that still defines boxing history, while Davis is forging his own path in a modern era with new challenges and expectations.
Did you ever remake your famous video game? Bring it to the next generation consoles, my friend?
Hey, I'm just happy to be alive. Thank
What
you.
about, what do you think about people comparing Tank Davis to you? What do you think about that?
Tank is a great fighter.
You think he's a great fighter? But what do you think about them comparing him to you? You're a legend, my friend.
Well, he'll be one too if he keeps fighting.
Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you. Okay.
On the other hand, Gervonta Davis has dismissed the notion of being a younger version of Mike Tyson. In interviews, he's emphasized that their styles are distinct, describing himself as a boxer-puncher who blends skill with power, while Tyson depended more on raw aggression and intimidation to overwhelm opponents.
What do you call your style?
I don't know. I think I'm a boxer puncher.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person.
A brawler, like somebody that's like.
So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like.
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like. Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole pack. I don't know. I'm just.
When asked about comparisons between himself and Gervonta Davis, Mike Tyson gave a straightforward answer. He acknowledged there might be a few similarities, but not the kind people expect. Tyson reportedly joked, "Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no," referencing Davis's offering issues. His comment made it clear that Tyson doesn't fully agree with the comparisons and views Davis as a completely different type of fighter and personality.
Tank Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of yourself? It's a wrap.
There we go. I don't know. Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
Interestingly, Gervonta Davis hasn't always seen Mike Tyson as an untouchable legend. After Tyson's loss to Jake Paul, Davis criticized the fight, questioning why a legend would return to the ring for a payday. He suggested the event may have hurt rather than honored Tyson's legacy. That reaction showed Davis didn't view Tyson as a flawless mentor or direct comparison. Yet now, Davis finds himself in a similar position, taking on a flashy, controversial bout with Jake Paul that's drawn backlash from fans, analysts, and boxing purists alike.
I call them boxers now. We talk about Logan Brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. Like, he tried to knock him out for sure.
How much money you think they paid Tank?
Tank gonna make upwards around 100 million. Real talk, so you can't really blame him for taking.
Many see the matchup as more spectacle than sport, an event fueled by entertainment rather than true competition. Critics claim Davis avoided a deserved rematch with Lamont Roach, choosing instead a more profitable payday. At a recent press conference, however, Davis hit back at his critics, saying he doesn't care what people think and urging fans to just enjoy the show.
What are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake Paul his flowers. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz.
Jake Paul is a disruptor, and he's done a phenomenal job at that. You get big and famous enough to where they will just hand you the title shot and completely throw out the ranking system.
If Jake Paul was to do that, I think that'd be the greatest sports accomplishment in history. Going from a Disney Channel kid to a YouTuber to becoming a world champion.
I don't remember the last time that I've heard Gervonta Davis say, I'm in boxing to be the greatest fighter of all time. I've heard him say that he's better than certain guys in his weight class, or this kid can't beat me. I've heard that. I can't remember, and maybe y'all can keep me honest online. The last time I've heard Gervonta Davis talk about his legacy in the ring. Like I'm building my legacy. I'm trying to outdo Floyd in legacy. like, I think it started like that for him. But the influence of Floyd Mayweather, Money Man, not Pretty Boy, but the Money Man, and building your brand and selling tickets and selling pay-per-views and becoming a household name, that's also a legacy. You got the legacy in the ring and you got the legacy in terms of how you sold. I believe Gervonta Davis is more focused on selling tickets and making money and securing his future for himself and his family. He said it out of his own mouth. I ain't got nothing else to prove. If you're trying to be one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's still a whole lot to prove. My point is, Roy, is I don't think, should everybody hold this man to the standard that they hold him to and say, you not fighting nobody, yeah, you making money, but you ain't really fought nobody. If he don't even care about that, that's not even something that he's really focused on. If his main focus is the money, and his main focus is getting out of boxing without getting hurt and retiring on his own terms, shouldn't his fan base and other people get on board with that if that's not even his goal? How can we hold him to something like that?
Mike Perry, never one to hold back, has harshly criticized the idea of Gervonta Davis facing Jake Paul. According to Perry, Davis isn't the knockout force he once was, claiming his passion for boxing has faded over time. He argued that when a fighter loses that raw love for the sport, it's nearly impossible to compete against someone naturally bigger, stronger, and more motivated. Perry warned that despite Davis's elite skill and speed, he'll face a major disadvantage against Paul, who could outweigh him by nearly 180 pounds. Such a massive size gap, he said, changes everything, from how punches land to how much punishment a fighter can take.
Signed on to fight Tank Davis. What do you think of that fight? He's got like 100 pounds on him.
Yeah, and they say that there's a large weight discrepancy, like me and Jeremy are the same size. So, it's his lower half is really small. My legs are gonna work the best that night. I have really strong legs. I'll squat twice the size that he can, and so my strong legs are gonna do work. Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult took a bold and unapologetic stance, claiming Jake Paul will be able to land heavy shots on Gervonta Davis. He based his view on Paul's clear physical advantages, size, reach, and raw power. While acknowledging Davis's superior skill and explosiveness, Showbiz argued that Paul's strength and durability will let him control the pace and impose his will in the ring. His take adds to growing skepticism about Davis's chances, insisting that the stark physical difference could be the deciding factor, tipping the fight in Paul's favor.
Davis beat Jake Paul. You have Shakur Stevenson saying Jake Paul doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, and that Gervonta Tank Davis would just outbox him and beat him on points.
I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
And I get that, but when I think of Tank Davis, I think of a guy who kind of counters you to knock you out. I think of a guy who's not really a busy fighter. And this isn't just a size thing, because hell, if it was Jake Paul versus the prime Manny Pacquiao, I would say Manny Pacquiao because of Manny Pacquiao's style, how busy he is, how he hops in and out, I think he would collect the points. While Tank Davis, I think he punches the least amount of all fighters in the world right now. So do I think he can one-punch KO Jake Paul? Well, the thing is about Gervonta has really shown a huge amount of concern fighting anything north of 135. Check this out.
He hit me in the back of my head. That stung a little bit, but other than that, it wasn't really. That's why I was nervous. Like, he's 140, so I wouldn't try to get caught.
Critics argue that Jake Paul's recent actions, especially his win over 58-year-old Mike Tyson, highlight a troubling pattern in his boxing career. Many view his choice to fight an aging legend as more spectacle than sport, doubting his pursuit of real competition. Figures like Carl Fruck have dismissed the victory as hollow, claiming Paul's success depends more on showmanship and promotion than true boxing skill or athletic merit.
Jake Paul, you've lost your mind if you think you can go toe-to-toe with Anthony Joshua. Listen, let's not get confused, guys. Let's not get confused. Yes, cool. Anthony, he took a big L with Daniel Dubois. But Daniel Dubois is not no joke, bro. He's not a joke. You know what I'm trying to say? He took a L there, but Jake Paul, I got the utmost respect of what he's done, how he's managed to navigate through the boxing world. Like, bro, it's so mad. And I can see this is like a 90%. It's happening, it's positioning, it's marketing already. Like, why would you see Jake Paul go face to face with Alexander Usyk if it's not to position for a fight for Saudi? Obviously, Jake Paul's gonna fight Anthony Joshua. There's possibly gonna be a Usyk against Tyson Fury 3, because obviously the last two were so close. But you never know. It can also be a Usyk against Derek Chisora. Do you know what I mean? You never.
Stephen A. Smith has repeatedly criticized Jake Paul's choice of opponents, arguing that most aren't active high-level boxers or are past their prime, insisting Paul still hasn't proven himself against the sport's true elite. Paul, however, has defended his record by noting that he tried to secure a fight with Tommy Fury, claiming Fury initially turned down several offers. When the fight finally took place in February 2023, it marked one of the few times Paul faced a professional boxer in his prime. Though Paul lost by split decision, it was a pivotal moment in his career, his first true test, and a reminder that in boxing, legitimacy requires more than fame or promotional power.
I was on Disney Channel while these guys were winning UFC championships.
Okay.
You know, I was playing with Mickey Mouse while these guys were throwing arm bars and winning UFC championships. Everyone's, analyzing my career, critiquing it, paying attention to it from day one, but you can't tell me who was Mike Tyson's first fight. You can't tell me who Muhammad Ali, who was his fourth fight. No one knows, but everyone's seen all of my fights. I tried to fight Tommy Fury. Yeah, I tried to fight Tommy Fury, and he backed out due to a rib injury. Undefeated, young prospect. He comes from the Fury family. His brother's the heavyweight champion of the world. I tried to fight him, and he got...
Smith has openly criticized Jake Paul for choosing to fight boxing legend Mike Tyson, arguing that if Paul truly wants to be taken seriously, he should face opponents closer to his own age, size, and skill level instead of aging icons with years of wear and tear. According to Smith, targeting seasoned veterans like Tyson may create headlines, but it does little to prove Paul's legitimacy or growth as a genuine competitor in boxing.
Walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody pretty please with sugar on top? I'm interested. What did you think about the fight, Jake Paul?
I hate it. And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer, but then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from the sport.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul claims he's redefining boxing's future. In a recent interview, he said the sport is becoming more exciting than ever and credited Netflix as a true game changer. With Netflix joining as a global streaming partner, Paul believes boxing is entering a new era, one that connects with millions of casual viewers beyond traditional pay-per-view audiences. He argues the move isn't just about fights, but about expanding boxing's reach and attracting fans who might never have watched the sport before.
Taking it very nonchalantly. This is going to be your next super fight. And this is
on Netflix. Netflix. Insane.
So it's another Netflix fight.
November 14th, Netflix. Hey, it's fun. It's funny. Like, actually, you kind of like pioneered this a little bit. The pay-per-view model for combat is dying. It seems, especially now with the Paramount's acquisition of UFC. It seems like free fights may be the way of the future.
Piracy is such a big problem. That's what it is.
And I thought you did that with one of your fights where you were going against the piracy. What fight was that? Where I don't know, maybe.
No, I mean so there's there was like the TV era of boxing, then there was the pay-per-view era of boxing.
What do you think? Can Tank handle Jake Paul's size and power? Or will Jake prove he's truly transformed the sport of boxing forever? Share your thoughts in the comments below.